Hey, it's Theo and thank you for joining me, and today we're looking at the best decks to climb to a legend. Now it's been a couple of weeks since I made this kind of video, and a bunch of stuff has happened in between, so I want to make an updated version of it so you have the latest decks to climb to a legend. And as always, all the codes for these decks will be in the description. And if you find these videos helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get started with the first deck, and to no surprise, yeah, it's still Hagatha Shaman at the top, though the deck list slightly changed now. Running a Hex, though you could run double Hex instead of like an Overseer, maybe double a Wish Upon a Star, so those are kind of flexible depending on what you want to be playing. But yeah, the rest is still pretty similar, right? Still the strongest deck, just the amount of stats you can get early on with the Bombing Bell up, with the buffs from Flight of the Firehawk, Turbulus, the Wish Upon a Star, like it can get pretty crazy. And then of course the finisher with the Elekir, or just usually just win on board with this deck. Just an incredibly strong deck, and still easily the best deck if you want to hit Legend. And then the second deck we have is the Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. It's kind of an old archetype, but a new build popped up I didn't see a few weeks ago. And yeah, this one is running, yeah, it looks weird, but it's running Cliff Dive with Elise, with the Califro. So yeah, sometimes that can happen that you get those, but you really want to be running those cards because, well, Elise is Elise, let's be honest. What deck doesn't want to run Elise when you can easily do it? And then Califro can just easily OGK when you get a bunch of tokens, which can be really easy with this deck. You got the Blob of Tar, of course, gets you 2 tokens, then the Ravenous Felter gets you 2 blobs, which gets you 4 tokens then. We got the location here, which is incredible. And then you can get a bunch of these Inquisitors on board, which obviously wins McTherdens, Briarspawn Drakes. And yeah, that's just incredibly powerful. And if you ever face this deck on ladder, you'll know why this deck is one of the strongest. Then we have the second Demon Hunter deck on the list, which is just the Aggro Demon Hunter. And yeah, not a whole lot has changed here. Pretty similar to before, just a ton of damage in this deck. It wins pretty fast, and of course we got the new card Perennial Serpent, which goes well with the Slumbering Sprite, the red card, and the dormant card of the Grim Harvest, the Dreadseed. And yeah, just a very strong deck. Games are super fast with this deck, so you can really climb in no time. And then we have another aggro deck, the Aggro Paladin, and this one might go a bit under the radar because you don't see that often. And it kind of looks like not a great deck, does it? I mean, we're running Fireflies, Mermies, Righteous Protector. Yeah, it doesn't maybe seem that strong, but it really is. I mean, even running Maze Guide, like, come on. Are we running a Lackey nowadays for 2 mana? Yep, we are. But it's really good because you got all these buffs in this deck with the Crusader Aura, the Flash Sale, and yeah, once these minions stick on the board, and the Busybot, of course, for buff. And once a couple of minions stick on the board, yeah, the game is almost over because then those buffs happen. You have to deal with the board, and then, yeah, turn 4 or 5, often those buffs happen. Then you can't quite deal with them, and then, yeah, the game is over. So I think this is actually the fastest deck for climbing if you look at the stars you gain, because games are just over so incredibly fast, even faster than with the Aggro Demon Hunter. So really strong deck if you want to be climbing. Then we have the Dragon Warrior, which is still one of the best decks right now to climb, and not too much has changed with this list. There's still the Shadow Flame Fusion, no Curator, right? The Zev. The rest is pretty similar to what's been played this expansion. And the deck just wants to win on board, get those snowball minions going early, especially right. Sanguine Depths into the Stone Carver is amazing, or the Gift Wrap Whelp with the Paddle Paddler. And then yeah, just keep getting big minions, push the damage with the weapon of a Stadium Announcer into like the Windpeak Worm. And if that isn't enough, you can maybe play the Logos here and then summon one of these others and then hit the opponent for 12 in the face. So just a good deck like before. And if you're interested in like a faster mid-range deck, this might be the one for you. And the second Paladin deck we have here is the Aura Paladin, but this one is a little bit different compared to the one we had before, because this deck is running the Tank Engineer. Actually, I didn't expect this card to see play, but we have the Tank Engineer, which can curve incredibly well into the Carnivorous Cubicle. So yeah, you keep summoning these, which then can summon the 7/7 tanks, and yeah, that's a lot of stats on the board early on. And of course, we're still running the Gelbin. It is Aura Paladin after all, so then we get the Gelbin with the taunts here, and it is still the best play in the deck, but it's I think a bit more well-rounded. It's not just all-in on that Aura package that needs to win. You can really win with these tanks on the board. I mean, just the Creature Madness, right? Into the 3-drop, into the Tank Engineer, into Cubicle. Just a great curve. And we even have the Toref, also not a card that has seen a lot of play, but this one is very annoying to deal with, especially with all the other cards with the Divine Shields. Although I'm not sure if I actually want to keep the Divine Shield on this one, but it is really good on the tank, of course, and it can maybe trade multiple times or go phase, and they can't clear it with a board clear because you get those Divine Shields that need 3 hits to get destroyed. Then we have the Discover Hunter, the most popular deck at High Legend, but it's not quite the best deck to climb. Though it's still very good, especially if you know how to play with it, because yeah, this deck can be pretty difficult to play. You have like a ton of options every turn, then you have to set up the game plan, kind of know what your opponent does, think about, do you go for tempo, like do you go pupil into the alien encounters, or do you save the pupil maybe for the card of Grifta? Because if you get Grifta, right, 6 damage with then the Neri, and then yeah, you get copies of it with the Scout into the pupil, this deck can deal tons of damage. Like yesterday I died to 28 damage on turn 6 from hand. Like that's what this deck can do, and you just can make ton of boards with those alien encounters. You have the Ranger General Sylvanas, which is incredible, right? 6 damage AoE if you play the other 2 Rangers, and yeah, that really wins a lot of games. We even got the Brewmaster in it for basically just the Sylvanas, because it's just that broken. And overall, just a very fun deck to play. Tons of options every turn, tons of decisions, and every game kind of feels different. So if you're interested in that kind of hunter deck, then this is the deck for you. And then the first Death Knight deck here we have is the Blood. And only Death Knight, this is the deck I finished the top 20 Legend with last month, though my build was a bit different because I really like Double Corpse Explosion, which you could have seen in the video I posted about this deck. I really liked that one. It also had Husk back then, so yeah, it's nice seeing more play. Though maybe not if you're the opponent and you're trying to OTK against it, but yeah, it seems like a solid card to be playing right now. And besides that, yeah, not too much has changed to this list, to be honest. I mean, it's still the same as before, right? Just try and curve out. I mean, you got the Creature of Madness at least. I mean, just like so many other decks have those cards. You got the late game, right? Ziliax, Ceaseless, and then yeah, you have a ton of damage late game. We had the weapon. We've got the Atlas Horseman. I'm not really sold on this. You can easily cut this. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Usually I don't play it myself. We got Maladar to cheat out some stuff. Just a very good deck at pretty much any stage of the game. So a solid choice if you want to climb with some slower Death Knight decks, though not quite a control deck. Now I had a bit of a slower Hunter deck earlier, but yeah, if you think of Hunter, you probably think of a deck like this, the Aggro Hunter or the No Hand Hunter here. And yeah, this one is very fast at winning games or losing them. And as you probably already figured out from the name, this deck wants to get on board very fast, push damage, and then win the game before the opponent can do very much. And that's why we're running a ton of damage cards and 1-drops. You see how many 1-drops there are, and pretty much every other card is like either damage, cycle, or yeah, supporting that. And yeah, this is a bit like the Aggro Demon Hunter we saw earlier, right? Just tons of burst, especially if you get, again, the Neri, just like the Discover Hunter. Just don't underestimate, though, that this card isn't just for spells, it's also for minions. So if you have this with a couple of 1-drops, right, you can double the stats, make this a 6/6, this a 2/6, that can be really annoying for your opponent to deal with, while you throw those quick shots and precise shots at their face while they try and deal with that. So that can be really good. So another good hunter deck if you want to be climbing to a legend. And the best rogue deck to climb to legend is the Protoss Rogue. Yeah, rogue just never dies. Doesn't matter how many nerfs you throw its way, it always finds a way. And yeah, this looks like the best right now because the Protoss package is still very strong. Only one card got nerfed in this package with Artanis, and with the new card, the Chronolord Deos, you can do a ton of damage, especially if you get the Elise copy. You can get the Archon of these 2 Templars that deals 8 damage at the end of the turn, right? You copy it 16, and then Deos makes it deal that twice, so 32, and that's without the damage of the High Templar, which if you play this twice, it's another 8 damage, so you already have 40 damage with that combination, so that can be incredibly powerful. We also have the Puppet Master Dorian to get more of these Templars, because you have the Blink that can of course tutor them, and we're running the Grona as well, because you can cut your opponent's health in half, which is kind of good if that happens. And yeah, that makes it way easier to set up those Templar into Archon OTKs. And overall, yeah, it's just still a very strong rogue deck. Now for Priest, we have this completely new archetype that you've never seen before. It's the Protoss Priest. Yeah, I bet you've never seen this on ladder. And yeah, it's very unique. It's playing Protoss cards. And it wants to play a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop, then play Resuscitate, and then yeah, maybe repeat it with the Sasquatch, and then you go Mothership. I mean, you probably don't know how this works, but yeah, that's what you do. You play that Mothership with this deck. It's very difficult, not for most people, but yeah, if you understand this deck, that you play the Protoss cards into the Mothership, then this can be a solid deck to climb. And here we have the second Death Knight deck, and well, there's some similarities between them. They're both Blood and Holy decks. This one is a bit different. This is a bit of a different win con because it's running Herenn, High Cultist Herenn, so you can cheat out these Awakeners of Soul in combination with either Travel Security or the Bon Samedi, which are both pretty incredible to resummon multiple times, really annoying for the opponent to deal with. And other than that, yeah, it's still running the Sanguine Infestation actually after it got nerfed. Not too many draw options because Agent of Yore doesn't quite fit as well in this deck. And then, yeah, you don't want to play the Chill Fallen because that is a death rattle. Also the reason why we're playing the Raptor. We do not want any death rattles in the deck because it would just mess up the Umbra. And we don't want that because if you play Umbra after a while with all these death rattles that we played, yeah, you get a huge board and that generally wins. So, yeah, another good Death Knight deck, though a slightly different flavor this one. And here we have another Protoss deck I'm sure you've never ever seen on ladder. It's the Protoss Mage. And the current builds are slightly more into drawing faster because we're running the Smoldering Grove. So you can draw up to 3 cards for 2 mana, which is very strong. And for that, we're cutting the location. Because, well, it's nice, right? The location getting you more resonance coils, shield batteries, and so on. It often doesn't quite happen, and then yeah, it's not the greatest. It's not like Quest Mage where you really want that card. So that's why we're just playing draw so you get your own cards. And while that does limit your Colossus potential, right, it's hard to get really far above 10 damage now. Like we could do before. Chrono Lord Dales at the Colossus, yeah, you pretty much win any late game matchup. Though, well, it does maybe win those late game matches overall. It is not the strongest deck right now. It's maybe the best mage deck, but not incredibly powerful. So don't just play it because you think it's overpowered, because it isn't. Play it because you want to play this deck. Otherwise, if you want to just play it to win, then all the other decks we had before that are a bit better if you want to climb to Legend. Then we have the one control deck on the list, which is the Quest Warrior. Here we have, and yeah, not too much has changed to the list. I can't remember if the last time if it had these 2 cards, Bulwark or All You Can Eat. It might have, might not, but yeah, those are now the kind of new additions. Right, Bulwark is pretty incredible at maybe stopping the Protoss from killing you for a turn, and then you can set up the counter lethal with the quest, the Time Warp of the Enter the Lost City. We've got All You Can Eat, which is good before the quest because you get tutor like your late game with Ziliax, Dracorex, or Marin. And then, yeah, after the quest, you can actually tutor the cards from that, like the Murloc, although not incredible the Murloc to get, but the Beast, like the Paladin quest reward, which sets up the win with that Time Warp. So if you want to play control, yeah, you don't have a lot of options, but this looks to be the best option for that. And then the last deck I have here is the Wallow Warlock. Now, this is not the best deck to climb, so if you're just looking to climb, I wouldn't play this one. But it's a bit of a different deck. We haven't really seen much of this before, so if you want to be playing this, then this is probably the list you want to be playing. And of course, it's Wallow Warlock, so it's all about Wallow the Wretched, which means you want to be playing all the Dark Gift cards that you can. Make this Wallow huge with Wind Fury and Charge, and win the game with that. And of course, we're also running all the neutral stuff you're used to, right? We're running the Ziliax, Ceaseless, Creature Madness to fill up the deck, and the rest is just, yeah, Dark Gifts. You just want to play the Dark Gifts. You don't even necessarily want to be playing those Dark Gift cards unless you have to. You just want to get those Dark Gifts on Wallow. That's why you can see there's no the discount card for Dark Gifts, because it's kind of like Quest Mage, where you just want to get those discovers for the quest and not necessarily the cards that you get off them. So that's what this deck is about. Get those quickly and then, yeah, win with the Wallow. And if you've played enough Dark Gift cards, yeah, this should be pretty easy lethal, especially if you get like Ellie's copy location or attack plus copy that wins usually. And those are all the decks I got for you today. Like I said before, the codes are in the description of the video if you want to play any of these. And if you have any other decks you would like to suggest for climbing, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until next time.